The future is so bright, and our ultimate goal is to hang another banner in the field house. And our ultimate goal is to come back in here after we win that championship and celebrate again like we did in 2012.
What if I told you that the Indiana Fever had a secret that may make them WNBA champions? It goes beyond their star power or spectacular plays. It's a more profound, game-changing plan that has been developing behind closed doors. In a candid interview, the team's defensive ace and three-point specialist, Lexie Hull, reveals what's actually going on in the Fever's locker room.
Really grateful for the opportunity to not only play in the WNBA, but to be on a team like the Indiana Fever. I've seen so much growth, not only on the team side, how we're performing on the court, but also the growth in fans.
The Fever isn't just looking to compete. They're planning to dominate, with Caitlin Clark leading the charge, Stephanie White as their new coach, and all-stars Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell. But what is their secret weapon exactly, and how is it already changing the WNBA? Lexie's Revelations is going to take you inside the heart of a team that is determined to make history.
We were just sick that we had lost so many games, and also feeling like we were better than that.
The Indiana Fever struggled to rebuild after winning the championship and remained at the bottom of the standings for years. Thus, they weren't always considered contenders. Glory vanished into the past, and once loyal followers started to doubt that the Fever required more than just talent. It required a new direction, which started to materialize in 2024.
Once we found out we had the #1 pick, and once Caitlin declared, that kind of changed things, I think, for the city a little bit. People were just so excited to come support the Fever. We felt that in our preseason games. We felt that even on draft night, we filled Gamebridge, which felt crazy. We're not even doing anything in Gamebridge, and people are excited to watch the screen and see who we draft.
Whom do we draft? Clark, the 2024 Fever's top draft pick, not only exceeded but also shattered expectations as soon as she took the court. She changed the definition of what it meant to be a WNBA star, setting 62 records in her debut season and thrilling fans with her deep three-pointers and seemingly unearthly court vision. But her influence extended beyond the numbers. She brought a fierce competitiveness that motivated her teammates and revitalized the team's identity.
There's something about the way she plays the game, her passing, her shooting, that people really identify with. I really feel like we're poised and we're set up for a great, successful next era of Fever basketball.
Afterward, the change occurred at the top. Returning as team president, Kelly Krakoff brought a wealth of expertise and a direct style of leadership. Krauss-Kopp's initial action was to establish a front office that recognized the importance of culture and the game. General Manager Amber Cox, who is renowned for her ability to spot talent and build cohesive teams, wasted no time in hiring Stephanie White, a coach who has a track record of bringing players together behind a common goal. Together, they laid the groundwork for what would turn out to be one of the most thrilling rebuilds in WNBA history.
Excited about where our new coach will take us. So yeah, it's unfortunate. And it's, looking at the league, 7 new coaches, 7 teams with new head coaches, that's an insane statistic. The teams are going to look so different and they're going to play different. So it's an exciting future for the league, but it's also it's sad to see that some eras are ending.
However, it wasn't only Clark's unique genius or astute front desk strategies that attracted attention. Together with all-stars Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell, Lexie Hull, another rising star, emerged as a fan favorite in her 3rd season with the team. Her hustle plays, defensive tenacity, and newly discovered confidence as a shooter marked a new era for the Fever that was characterized by grit, teamwork, and a desire to win.
All of it comes down to trusting the process, and part of that process is making sure that the work's getting done.
However, the Fever's resurgence wasn't solely about standout performances or spectacular highlights. The true revolution was in the team's backstage operations, which we'll discuss more in a moment. The Fever's upward trajectory was indisputable. The Chicago Sky and Las Vegas Aces are 2 teams that are excellent examples of how even the most talented teams can fail without a strong foundation of unity and trust. Both teams have impressive player rosters, but their internal struggles highlight how mismanagement and discord can derail even the best squads. Their win-loss record improved dramatically, attendance skyrocketed, and social media buzz painted them as a team to watch. This resurgence was promising, but it left one question unanswered. What exactly set the Fever apart from other teams attempting to compete?
According to league sources, Wetherspoon had lost the locker room because of a culture that catered to the needs of a few players. Dear Lord.
Trouble started at the top of the Sky. Allegations of favoritism and poor communication plagued Teresa Wetherspoon's term as head coach, creating a toxic atmosphere where players felt underappreciated and ignored. One of the squad's most dynamic players, Kennedy Carter, publicly expressed her dissatisfaction, making headlines when she requested fans to recommend a team for her to join. Her post's audacity then revealed a deeper reality. Players apparently found it difficult to negotiate their unclear responsibilities in the Broken Sky locker room, and the leadership's lack of accountability only served to further the rift.
And look, as an organization, we just, felt it was time to make a change. There's just private issues that I think we will keep just in the Sky locker room.
Despite winning back-to-back titles in 2022 and 2023, the Las Vegas Aces, formerly the league's most powerful team, were struggling with internal strife as their culture started to fall apart due to growing scandals.
So the WNBA suspends Becky Hammond for 2 games. They lose a first-round pick in 2025 because Derek Hamby says she was bullied for being pregnant, body shamed, just really harassed because of her pregnancy.
The Aces were accused of breaking pay cap regulations and improperly managing former player DEA Hami's pregnancy. These issues resulted in penalties, suspensions, and a decline in trust that threatened to overshadow their performance. Success in court-renowned head coach Becky Hammond has disagreements with important players like Kelsey Plum. A heated argument during a crucial playoff game went viral, highlighting the apparent conflict between Plum and Hammond as they were eliminated from the playoffs earlier than anticipated. There is anxiety in the locker room since Hammond is promising roster changes for next year. We need to improve.
We have to get better. We have to really take a sharp look at ourselves, look ourselves in the mirror, see our shortcomings, and then, you got to make the moves necessary, whatever that means, to put the best product that we possibly can. It's not going to be the same group probably next year. It just won't. And I'm sad about that because I really like that group. They were a pain in my ass, but I was a pain in their ass too.
The consequences of these problems were severe. The Sky saw their best players, such as Carter and Camila Cardoso, publicly questioned within their team, while the Aces faced league penalties and intense scrutiny. Both teams became cautionary tales of what happens when internal discord goes unchecked. In contrast, the Indiana Fever have adopted a completely different strategy, emphasizing transparency, respect, and teamwork to create a cohesive and supportive environment. The Fever have also a do.
I think it was important to get to know her off the court because I do think that, connections, getting to know people really play a part in the success of teams.
The Fever strategy goes beyond simply avoiding dysfunction. It focuses on creating something exceptional. However, what precisely transpires behind the scenes to preserve this harmony with Lexie? Let's take a behind-the-scenes peek into the Fever's locker room and discover their success secret. We understand that viewing this video takes up some of your time, so please remember to like, subscribe, and enable all notifications if you've made it this far and are enjoying it. Let's get back to the action.
It's really awesome to get to know her as well because, she's a great person, but you have all these expectations put on her and our team has put on her and fans have put on her. So to see her kind of be so mature in that transition, it's been really awesome. And I'm just really proud to, have her on the team and it's been exciting.
Lexie Hull summed up the change within the team when she said, "We never turned on each other. That mindset that unity is what got us through those tough times." The culture of the Indiana Fever extends beyond what happens on the court and includes everything that occurs in the locker room during practices and in every interaction between players and staff. This sentiment is the cornerstone of a team that places trust roles and accountability above all else. It's not just motivational jargon.
All of us just kind of stuck together, trusted the process, and realized that the start of the season isn't the biggest deal. It's how we finish and how we get better. And really proud of just the resiliency of the group.
Caitlin Clark is the driving force behind this culture, and her leadership goes beyond her impressive numbers. She is often praised by teammates for her capacity to uplift people.
She sees the game at a bigger scale, obviously with the platform that she's created for herself, and then that's transitioned to the game. It's huge. And I think, like, for me, especially as a point guard and as someone that's delivering a lot of the passes that lead to shots, like, if I miss, she's definitely going to say, like, you got the next one. Like, I can count on her for keeping me, like, confident and positive. So yeah, I think that shows the player that she is and the leader she is as a point guard.
The dynamics of the Fever have changed as a result of this combination of constant support and relentless competition. Clark's mindset ensures that teammates feel appreciated while pushing them to their limits. In her reflections on her trip, Lexie Hull acknowledged that her personal development highlights this cultural transformation.
I don't think, like, anyone can genuinely feel 100% safe, especially, like, with the movement of the league.
Hull's transformation from a rookie attempting to establish herself to a dependable starter is evidence of the Fever's dedication to enabling each player to flourish in their position, but it's also about developing team chemistry. Practices are rigorous and frequently include scrimmages against male players to test the teams.
We play against guys during practice, we play against ourselves, but, like, if her team's not winning in a scrimmage or a drill, like, she's competitive and she's gonna do everything she can to win. And I think it just shows the type of player she is. Like, if it's not working, she's gonna try to figure it out. And you definitely want her on your side.
As Hall puts it, the atmosphere is producing results because the players prioritize communication and conflict resolution and take part in frequent off-court events to strengthen their bonds with one another. This team's spirit is electric. Caitlin, Aaliyah, and an incredibly passionate fan base. The Fever's locker room culture is more than just a theoretical concept. It's a real advantage that distinguishes them from teams who are having trouble coming together. The question now is, how has this cultural shift translated into actual on-court outcomes?
It's so fun to be able to know that you're not just cutting to cut, knowing that you're cutting with the possibility of, like, actually making a really cool play. So that makes it that much more worthwhile.
The tangible results of the Indiana Fever's cultural revolution are evident both statistically and emotionally. With a record that saw them compete against playoff-caliber teams, the team's journey from obscurity to relevance has been remarkable. From locker room unity to on-court excellence, the Indiana Fever are no longer just a rebuilding franchise. They are a force rewriting expectations in the WNBA. Swift, as Lexie Hull points out, we were better than our record initially indicated. We knew we had what it took. All we needed to do was have faith in ourselves and carry out the impact of Caitlin Clark's historic rookie season, which saw her lead the league in assists and shoot at a percentage that rivals veterans could match. She has played a significant role in uplifting everyone in her vicinity. Clark's enthusiasm is contagious, and she wants everyone to shine, not just win.
I mean, I definitely got passes and tried to finish when I wasn't expecting to get the ball. So, like, now it's like, okay, every cut I have, every cut I make, every fast break I run, like, I have a real opportunity to get the ball, which definitely, like, took me a second. And I think it really just took one of those to really get my head around, like, oh, she's all the way down at the other end of the floor and she could still make the pass to me down at the block at this end. So, I mean, it's been awesome.
Particular milestones have also been noteworthy. While Kelsey Mitchell's reliability has made her the go-to player in desperate situations, Aaliyah Boston dominated on defense. The transformation of Lexie Hull's personal game block from a role player to a key contributor exemplifies the Fever's mantra of progress via hard work and trust.
Definitely, like, take it personally, and it's definitely a big piece of my game that I pride myself on, because it's something that's always been such a controllable, like, and that's effort. And I think defense in basketball is a lot of just effort. And I definitely feel like I'm one of the hardest workers out there. And I think that shows on the defensive side. So at least I hope it does.
Walking through the grocery store and hearing "Go Fever" still feels unreal, but the team's dynamic play style has caused game attendance to soar, demonstrating the Fever's impact off the court as well. Paul notes that social media has also been ablaze, with Caitlin Clark's highlights regularly trending and Lexie Hull's official court articles connecting with followers. But the Fever's expanding visibility also involves its drawing top-tier free agents in addition to fans. Players from all over the league are observing Indiana's culture. According to one insider, the players want to be here because the Fever is about creating something greater than just basketball. Comparing their achievements to those of clubs like the Chicago Sky and Las Vegas Aces highlights their strengths, where others faltered. The Fever flourished under pressure thanks to a vision that strikes a balance between individual brilliance and group objectives. The issue of whether they will compete for a championship has been answered, but as long as the Fever is here to stay, their momentum is unquestionable, and given the foundation they have established, winning a WNBA championship doesn't seem like a pipe dream. Rather, it feels inevitable.
Women's sports, it's a big opportunity to be a part of this rising tide that we're all experiencing. Everybody in this company's all in. Everybody in this city's all in.
The journey of the Indiana Fever from rebuilding to resurgence is more than just a sports story. It's a blueprint for change. They've demonstrated to the WNBA what can happen when talent and culture are combined, when players are empowered by leadership, and when unity becomes the cornerstone of success. Unlike teams that collapsed under pressure, like the Chicago Sky with their fractured locker room or the Las Vegas Aces embroiled in controversies, the Fever have forged a new path, embracing transparency, accountability, and camaraderie to create a team where each player feels appreciated. As Lexie Hull puts it, it's not just about who scores the most. It's about every contribution, no matter how small, adding to the greater picture.
The fact that people are talking about the WNBA, people are tuning in to our games, that's what we want to hear, and that's only going to get us farther as we go on.
With Caitlin Clark continuing to reinvent the game, Aaliyah Boston controlling the paint, and Lexie Hull and Kelsey Mitchell leading with passion and hard work, the Fever's potential is limitless as they look to 2025. This squad is positioned not only to compete, but also to lead their expanding fan base. They are a franchise on the rise thanks to their smart leadership and shared vision. The Fever's covert plan has shown results, but it's obvious they're only getting started. Will 2025 be the year they declare their championship? One thing is certain: destiny. The league and we are both watching. Do you believe the Fever will peak? And if so, when? To ensure you don't miss anything, please leave a comment, subscribe, and enable all notifications. We'll see you in the next one after you click the video on the screen.